You know, it is factual. It is factual that the U.S. does not agree on the legalization of marijuana when it comes to their federal level. They have the Controlled Substance Acts and all that. We're a separate country, but we work together with the United States. And to ignore that, to ignore the marijuana laws of the United States and sort of nonchalantly uh, nonchalantly ignore it, and then it becomes sort of even more than ignorance. It becomes sort of well, it becomes an illegal enterprise considered to the United States. It interferes with commerce. It interferes with many things. That's why the drugs remain illegal in the United States as well as many other places. And we've legalized the marijuana, and I'm a marijuana addict. He's not just a consumer. Consumer is somebody that may go and buy 5 or 10 or 25 or 200 or whatever, make a purchase. An addict is somebody that's been smoking the stuff or using it for years and years. Every, you know what I mean? And the majority are addicts. So it was a legalization for the addicts. And then slowly and surely, we're going to have just the average consumers. I think that it's going to get that way with the DNA. But we have to watch how we stride when it comes to um, this. That it had happened with alcohol, and that's what people said. It was alcohol prohibition, and then there was the marijuana prohibition. And alcohol used to be prohibited in the United States, and then they legalized it, and they had a form factor. Now, Joe Biden and Kamala had said quite possibly that they would be working on this form factor to eliminate marijuana laws when it comes to the prohibited, sorry, to not allow uh, the marijuana to be purchased, sold, or traded. But as I've heard it, they don't have very much of a budget. We're all just getting over COVID-19. It's a large investment, and they don't even I don't, and many people in Canada. It's well, they like how they have it at the state level, where they're still able to prosecute ones that they feel are criminal, fully under the United States law. You have your small time guys, like even I'm a small time guy. But then you have those big time ones that are completely illegal and all that, like that El Chapo that they got, who they still have not executed, and I've called for his execution because they have proven that El Chapo can control the criminal enterprises, whether it be the murder trade or whatever the hell they call that, where they kill people for the criminal enterprises and what have you. He's involved in the drugs. He's involved in the. It's taken so long to get this El Chapo Guzman. I mean, I deal with people that support this Guzman all the time, and I finally flipped them over now, where they're going to let go of Guzman. Judith, she was when I first met Judith, she was like repping Sinaloa cartel. I said, Judith, you're my probation officer, honey. Like, I'm also law enforcement, but I'm here to do my probation term. And that is when she, instead of it just being a normal probation term, she started to make it other offenses. She started violating sex offenses. She started violating domestic violence offenses. She started violating all types of laws. And one of the things she said was that she was a criminal and that she was Sinaloa cartel. She said that to me without even asking her. She just was one of, How I learned it in the military was when you pull out the firearm, you shoot it, and when you pull out the firearm, you shoot it, and you never provocate the situation. You guys are just learning about provocation. I learned about provocation back when I was in the United States with the real officials. Whereas some of you people are just learning about provocation through Joe Biden. No, provocation is something I've known about before Obama, since I was with my friend Sergeant Matthew Earls and Justin. I knew about provocation before Matthew knew about provocation, before Justin knew about provocation. How I know? Because Justin violated the law of home invasion. And he's very lucky I did not kill him in self-defense. But I was so smart, I knew that Justin did not know about the law or provocation, that he was just a kid. Or else he would have been dead. And I would have not went to jail because of his home invasion. So that's like a lot of you people that are just learning about this art of provocation. But that's very provocative to say that. A lot of people have known about this. That's how I don't end up arrested. That's what I said about King Yella when he got arrested. I said they had King Yella in his apartment. Some of these police and all that, they think King Yella was some kind of like important subject. That's how I know they're under me and they're just a fan of me and all that. Because King Yella is not really a subject to me. He's just some guy that I talk about every once in a while. So anyways, King Yella's in his apartment. King Yella's in his apartment, and the police come to the door. And they say, police, da, 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 like they usually do. Well, his response was provocative words, like, I ain't coming to the door, and all that. That now gives the police provocation to quite possibly get a search warrant or something. Guess what? Under law, you do not have to answer the door for the police. If they have a search warrant, they'll already make an entry, and you have your choice to get on your knees or whatever your valid argument may be. You better run with that, right? You either turn yourself in, and that is getting on your hands and knees and taking the chance that they may shoot you and kill you and just wrap you up and make it a murder thing. Most people don't do that. They will, without provocation, they'll self-defend themselves, and they'll usually maybe turn themselves in the future with their lawyer. And then there's some people that say, I haven't violated any law. You have a false search warrant. I'm not going through the whole procedure. I've done it before. And they will self-defend and they'll win. If they shoot the police dead or whatever under law, when they call the judge or when they call the military and they check it out, they say, nope, that was legal. And yes, the police can be killed too under law, if you didn't know. And I'm not the police, but guess what? The police thought they were going to extort me for my opinion. But no, I'm not the police, so I cannot be a person to completely validate police opinion, because police opinion goes against my opinion. Yes, I get money from the government of Canada, but that is not to be with the police. If they paid me to be a police officer, which I've said, pay me to be a police officer, then you would hear a whole different voice. But I'm not, I'm a citizen. And under the law of being a citizen, I have many rights, because guess what? Police are just citizens that have they have their police license. So, well, it comes down to money. Get working and play your role until you're that actual person because firearms cost money. And until you got the more expensive firearm or just the equivalent as the police, you have to basically, they're going to yell in your face, tell you what to do, and all that. So, but most of you will not get up to my level. I know how hard I had to work. That's all I do is work. The police don't work as hard as I do. I would know. I'm here in Canada and I'm the top police. Show me anybody in the whole. I have all the tattoos and all that. They don't. They have nothing to show for it. Nothing to show for it. I do. And that's why there's police jealousy. But listen up. I told the rookies before. I was a rookie once too. Did you know that I used to think that police got their tattoos? Yeah, it's not like that. You get the tattoos the same way I get the tattoos. By following the law and taking the bad people to jail. Like Jim the drunk, Mike Buddy the drunk criminal that steals. Mike stole my phone. That's well aware. I mean, look at this guy who's supposedly police. And these are disgusting gang tattoos. This guy is not police to me. This guy is a gang member that got into the police. And these are one of the ones that you have to worry about. One of these really dirty ones that somehow got into the police that either don't have what they want in life or... Because, listen, I wouldn't have said anything bad. I usually say good stuff. But I am talking about some of those cops or whatever that won't leave. There's a one individual cop in my area. There's a mayor, and I won't even show him because he hasn't done anything in the 2 or 3 years that I've been here. He hasn't. Actually, I've been here longer in Southampton, and he hasn't done anything. You know what they were doing? All they were using was guns against people. They didn't do anything productive for the city. All they did was say to the city, you're not allowed to have Uber. You're not allowed to have this restaurant. You do what I say. You do what I do. And they haven't done anything for the city. There was no development of any websites, no videos. Through my investigation, all they've done is intimidate citizens. We're talking kids, handicapped people, children. And they even fellow gun owners, they intimidate with their firearms. But they're learning because I'm not invincible. I could be arrested under a true crime. Every day is a new thing, right? You got to worry about getting in trouble. That's with anybody. You could accidentally bump into somebody, and that's a battery. You have to watch where you're going. And the government did a great job teaching people that with that social distancing. What more can they do? That was their big investment, to try to teach the police and try to teach people. It doesn't matter who you are. If you got a $5 million in your account or if you got even $0 in your account, you must remain 6 feet away from each other. Because we had people that were, I don't know, they thought for some reason their opinion was so much that they could go up and grab whoever in the mall. Like the video I have when I'm in that Jane and Finch mall and the guy tries to grab me. This happens in Canada, but it happens nowhere else. And it happens to a lot of people, but it doesn't really happen to me. But it happened to me at this Jane and Finch mall. The one time I was undercover, I got to go to the where we were getting reports of, we were getting lots of reports out of this Jane and Finch area that minorities were being mistreated. And then I was in the mall, and the guy, he was a cool guy, he did it, but it was an example, sort of the mistreatment that ones get. No longer are the blacks the minority. It's the other way around. As you've seen, a lot of my fellow white people, as what we were called, quite possibly, or just normal Torontonians that happen to be similar complexion to me. They happen to be getting pretty old, Tommy. And and then there's me. And yeah, and you'll hear from the old guys, Tommy. You better be careful. Them police will just kill you because most of the police are black. Thanks to like Obama, he changed it all. Right? They said, oh, he's going to change it. I said, I'm all for the change because it's going to enrage all the people and then it's going to go back to how it was. And boy, did he enrage all the people. They're enraged. Enraged. They went up to Capitol Hill and raged out. There's riots, murders like never seen before. He really changed the American mind state. People are enraged in America. Enraged. The crime rate's just going down now because they killed a bunch of these ones that were the big Obama underlings. Like the FBG Duck and all that. Those were all his underlings. So they smoked out all his underlings, if you don't know what happened. Now they're telling Obama, like, you know, what happened to Martin, what's his name? Luther King Jr. He got killed. He was much like an Obama, very famous. Riding down Barack Obama Boulevard. Like, good God. There really is a Barack Obama Boulevard. They've got them already installed. He's the next Martin Luther King Jr. Who knows how he'll die, okay? But just know there is a Barack Obama Boulevard. Is it going to be in every city? I think that was his idea. It was like the Martin Luther King Jr. He's in every city and all that. And he knows the power of the people. That's why that's why I'll commend him. He was a good president. And he was smart. And it ain't nothing about race. It was about how he was American. He was an American. And Americans are smart. They know, goddamn, most of them are. Some of them are. There's a lot of empty houses. Well, that's part of their smarts. What good would this? What good would I be over at this house? And Barack Obama said that with his actions. Actions speak louder than words. You know what Barack did for me? I didn't want to go back to the U.S. Barack understood my position, being a Canadian, and when my mom tried to force me to go back to the United States, they stopped it at the border and said, no, Thomas does not have to go back to the United States. And then they explained to Thomas that, hey, if you really wanted to go and it was something positive and you were going to bring enlightenment, and all that, hey, that'd be a whole different story. But that wasn't the case. Thomas did not want to return back to the United States. That was the fact. Obama made sure that quick, which I didn't know. So God bless him. That was over at Edmonton International Airport, whatever they call it. My mom, I said, I don't want to go back to the United States, Mom. Now I think I would have made it back there, eh? I would have had I made a lot of money since then. So it ended up being a bad decision for Obama. But boy, did they have a lot of fun down there in the United States. And they lost out on a lot of money. Okay? They lost out on hundreds of thousands of US dollars or whatever back that could have been saved that I just spent up here in Canada. I went to the strip clubs and ate pizza and paid my rent. Could have been your money, but it was mine. And I paid tax to the U.S. government. But that was because of Barack Obama. We're talking more money than this. Phyllites, right? I made almost 200,000 US dollars with them. That would have went towards my dad. It would have went towards all my friends down there instead of the ones up here. But it was a good thing because I just wasn't fitting in there. He was from Canada. I remember I wanted to come back to Canada. You know, it was all about Canada for me. It was so open. I have a position here. It's so full down there. That's what I noticed. It's so full down there on population, and people got money because they've been down there. So there's no position for somebody like me to fit in because it's already so full. But Canada is wide open from about, well, they all hang out in Toronto and they all hang out in certain cities. But when it comes to everywhere else, it's wide open. That's where I'm going, Thunder Bay or something like that. I like my city of Port Elgin. It's wide open pretty much, but it fills up because you got people that go to Wasaga Beach and all that. So we get a little bit of a trickle, but it's not nearly as bad as the trickle of a Sable Beach or a Wasaga or anything like that. So for now, it's a pretty nice place. But eventually, when I get the money to save up for a mortgage, I'd probably be going north.